Wait, Tuli's calling. Should we put her on bar call? We can't, because we can't hear. Yeah, we can't hear what she's saying.
Well, I mean, I could do that, but where are we? 1838. Okay, I've got to make a note to cut all this out. You don't. Oh, well, she's calling me now. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's Tuli's calling me. I guess we should take it. Okay, now I know you called your mother, and now you're calling me. We're in fact in the middle of doing a bar crawl at Gabriela's, but we want to hear what you have to say, so we stopped. All right, wait a minute, let me mark it down. June 21st, swearing in, and what's the other one?
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Graduation on September 14th. All right, congratulations.
We'll be there.
Bye-bye. Okay, so big announcement. Kren, our son-in-law,
yes, I just said it.
Who is a citizen of the Dominican Republic and has been in the military, the U.S. military,
and was injured.
Not
in battle, but he was injured.
Right, coming through some kind of a
It was a
porthole.
drill. It was some
Right.
kind of, yeah.
But on January 21st, he's going to be, June 21st.
June 21st.
This month, he's going to be sworn in as a U.S.
And we're going to
citizen.
be there.
Wow. A U.S. citizen.
Yep.
And our president makes it so hard for people to get there, but he's gotten there. And then he's going to graduate with his bachelor's degree in information science on September 14th.
Okay, and he's going to walk down.
I guess he's going to walk down the Well, I don't know if it's an aisle because he's been online.
No, I think they do it in New Jersey. There's a campus in New Jersey.
Okay,
the school that he went to. Yeah.
Okay, so they actually do walk down the aisle.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah,
take an online course. Bar noises here.
Yeah,
At
well,
Gabriela's, yeah.
We're at a bar. He's making our margaritas right now.
I know.
That's the sound of making your and my margarita, honey.
I don't think I can start without having a slug of the margarita.
Well, you've already started. But I think that's I think you can look at that as a way of living creatively.
What is that?
Artistically.
You're kind of starting in the middle
here. Drinking margaritas.
Right, good.
Why do we have to start at the beginning? You can go back to the beginning.
Well, you can't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes
you
just might find
you can get what you need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I hardly ever. I get what I want. Sometimes.
I always get what I want usually.
Because I make sure to get it for you.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah, you want to go on an ice. You want to go on an iceberg?
I do. I want to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers, babe.
Cherries.
Look, they have new glasses.
I think these are the same glasses.
Yeah.
Maybe they got a new stock.
Look, plastic straws.
Oh, we didn't say no straws.
Right.
Yeah. Besides, what's the point of getting something with salt on the rim and then sipping it out of a straw? You want to have a little, taste of the salt and then.
So we just talked to and it is totally out of order.
Okay, that reminds me that I want to tell you something.
But you can't do this with a paper straw.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your children and your grandson loves that. Alan is just pushing the air out of the straw, going up with his fingers as he blows into the straw.
Right. We had a whole birthday party once, and we had no favors. We forgot to bring the favors. We were like McDonald's or something. We had nothing for the kids to play with, and I brought out the straw trick.
You did. And that
entertained them for several minutes.
And we just had a birthday party recently. We had your birthday party.
That's right. I didn't bring out the straws.
Well, and I brought paper straws.
That's right. You can't do it with a paper straw. You can't do the straw trick with a paper straw. Yeah, we had my big birthday bash.
Big, huge number birthday.
The big, huge
and
number.
I was going to say, and we came up with a drink called Ye O Al, and it was an old-fashioned. And you didn't
Yeah.
drink it, I know.
I didn't
But
drink very much
what
at
we were
all.
going to do, and I kind of forgot, is we were going to put sugar on the rim of the glass. But the sugar was going to be dyed orange. So it's going to look
like I was bleeding?
Metamucil. No, it's going to look like Metamucil.
Metamucil, I see, okay.
Like a little Metamucil on the rim.
Yeah.
Yo, Al.
I don't use Metamucil anymore. I got a really good fiber mix that I get from Trader Joe's, which is right across the street from where we are now.
I know.
We're
We're
at
Trader
Gabriela's.
Joe theme podcast.
We only do podcasts near
near
Trader
Trader
Joe's.
Joe's. That's it.
We have to be a half a block from Trader Joe's.
Right. That's our rule.
So a half a block here on Columbus on 93rd Street is Trader Joe's, and
And
we're
there's-
at
And we're at Gabriela's.
Gabriela's drinking their delicious margaritas in very tall glasses with the red straw in the center
With
of
Metamucil on the rim.
it. With no, there's salt.
No.
There's salt on the rim. Yeah. So this is Bar Crawl Radio number 45.
Cinco.
45, right?
Wait. 40? Is 40? 40?
I think so.
Or is that 14?
45.
Is that 14?
Renee,
Qu'est-ce que c'est 40?
40 in español.
En español.
45.
45. Sí,
45.
45.
Gracias. And that was Renee, the bartender here.
Oh, his name is Renee?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good to know.
I say hello to everybody.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You do. You're a friendly guy.
I've learned that from my brother.
Was it your brother? Because I thought you were always like this. You've always been friendly.
I guess. He does it a lot more
Outgoing,
than
gregarious.
I do. He does it a lot more than I do.
Well,
Yeah, did we say this is Bar Crawl Radio? Did we say
we
that?
did. I think we did.
Okay, all right.
And we're at Gabriela's.
Because
on
I've already had
93rd
a
and-
drink, because this is our second podcast
I know,
of the day.
today. I know. We're doing a...
We actually are doing
a bunch
bar
of
crawl.
podcasting.
We were just
and we
at
crawled. Yep,
Gebhards, and I had a vodka tonic, and now we're having a margarita.
correct.
I'm not bragging, but
Correctamundo.
I'm moving along through my liquor this evening,
Yes.
and I don't think it's going to stop.
Okay.
I think this evening we're
See,
going to...
no, well, I'm in a lot of
What?
angst because of my trying to direct little
Yeah,
kids
you're doing
in
that.
the
You're
play
doing
that
the
I
play.
wrote. And it's just, the playwright, I want to kill her.
You are the playwright.
I want to kill myself.
No, don't.
What was I thinking?
I
It's
know,
a cute little play, but it's got a lot of lines.
And it's called the Super Fantastic
the kind of
Mystery
magical
Mystery Play.
story.
Story.
Kind of magical mystery
Kind
story.
of magical mystery
Story, yeah.
And we
right.
actually came up with the name, I think, when we were doing a podcast.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
At 5 Napkin. But now we're at Gabriela's on West 93rd Street in Columbus.
I think you said that enough. It's all right.
I know.
It's a
I
great
know.
place, though. Thanks to Nat and Liz for allowing us to have our podcast here. The staff is always very, very welcoming and friendly to everybody, not just podcasters. And the food and the drink is delicious. Come on over.
So, do you know what I've been thinking about lately?
What's that?
Well, at my birthday party,
You got gifts.
Barry Kessler,
Yes.
who's my lawn bowling buddy,
Yes.
he gave me a book
A book, yes,
by
which is right here.
Julia Cameron.
Cameron.
And I started reading it, and it's called, what is it called? It's Never
It's never too
Too
late,
Late to Screw Around.
to begin again.
Begin again, right.
Beginning in... What's that?
And what's
To
the
begin the begin.
what's the subtitle?
Discovering creativity and meaning at midlife and beyond.
And beyond. It really focuses on more the beyond. Like after you're retired and you've worked your whole life and it's like you've made all the money you can make and now it's the end of your life and you have nothing to do.
And there's a lot of
Your life
issues
is
that
vacant.
there's a lot of issues that arise, I guess, when you're retired. I wouldn't know, but when you're retired, you feel that you don't have anything to do.
Yeah,
You're
and people wait for the
bored.
retirement, but they wait for the retirement. It's like, oh, I can't wait until I get retired and I get out of this stupid job that I've been in for 40 years.
Right.
Right. And a lot of the book is about that fact that people just have these stupid jobs they
Oh,
just
really?
don't like.
That's
They're
what
not
the book
really
is
into
about.
it,
I haven't
and
read the whole thing.
And it's like they've given their whole life over to it, like since 20 until they're 65, and now they've been forced out and they retired and they don't know what the F to do with their lives. So it has different chapters. I just wanted to kind of
read some of them, honey.
take a look at the chapters here.
So what are the chapter titles?
Yeah. And I wrote a lot of notes in it. Did you notice?
I saw that.
Because this book got me angry.
I know, but that's kind of you get angry at a lot of things.
I do. But that's what makes it kind of interesting. And I'm not finding that. Oh, come on.
Table of contents.
Come on. Here it is. Here, the table of contents. Of course, I got to put on my glasses. Where the?
They're right here.
No, it's not
That's
them.
not them?
All right, let me see if I read it.
Here, you want mine?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Could I get a salt shaker, too? I
Okay,
like very
Renee,
salty
Renee
chips.
just brought us some chips and some salsa, red and green.
Gracias.
And we're getting some guacamole. Reigniting a sense of wonder. Reigniting a sense of wonder.
I mean, you could do that every day of your life.
Yeah, that's week 1. Week 2, reigniting a sense of freedom.
Okay.
All right. Week 3, reigniting a sense of connection. All right, I'm going to skip to week 5, reigniting a sense of honesty. Week 6, reigniting a sense of humility. 7, reigniting a sense of resilience. Week 8, a sense of joy. Week 9, reigniting a sense of motion.
Thank you.
Reigniting.
Whoa.
Renee, when are you going to retire?
Hopefully.
You're a young man.
Thank you.
You don't have any gray hairs.
No, thank God. I've been doing this for 23 years, and I just hope that maybe another 10 years and I'm done.
And you're done? And then
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
It's going to sound horrible or probably pretty good, but I like this business so much that I am thinking to open my own place again.
You're going to have competition with Gabriela's. Is it going to be in the area?
No, I'm thinking about Astoria. I live in Astoria,
Oh,
Queens.
yeah, Queens.
So that's
Okay.
what I'm thinking.
And what's the name of it going to be?
Well, I have a few names. One of them is going to be Obvious,
Alvi's?
with like a martini glass.
Oh, martini glass.
Yeah. But
That's our motto is a martini glass.
Our logo is a martini
Bar
glass
Radio.
with headsets on them.
So it's going to be a martini bar or a margarita bar?
It's going to be crafty cocktails with like some of the classic ones, barrel-aged cocktails, small appetizers, just like that.
Like
something
tapas
comfortable,
kinda?
like
Yeah.
more than, not like humongous dishes,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
like that, like small options. That's what it is right now, very trendy
I'm
everywhere.
coming to that bar, Renee.
Yeah.
That sounds good
Yeah.
to me.
So you'll be surprised how they're doing. They're doing very well, and what I want to focus more on is mezcal.
Okay.
Mezcal is going up there, and well, you never know.
You're going to start a new trend.
Who knows?
Well, take our card.
Good luck.
And then, we're going to, Renee just
He's
is busy here.
He's busy.
We're going to give him our card, and when Renee, in 10 years, and we're going to still be doing Barcode Radio in 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So he already has a plan, but see what he's doing, Renee,
What's he doing?
is he's doing what he does. And he clearly enjoys
Right.
he enjoys the bar life.
But he wants to be his own boss.
He wants to be his own
and
boss.
He wants to,
But he's alive right now, in a sense, because he's doing kind of what he wants to do,
right.
but he wants
so
to do
he's
it for
in
himself.
the moment. So is that what? So what did the book advise? Give us some of the pointers.
You know what? All of my notes kind of deal with why I didn't like her recommendations. I mean, there was one recommendation which was to get rid of the judge inside your head saying you can't do this. So like, I always wanted to play tennis, or
you like the judge.
I don't like the judge. I drew. She says draw a picture of your judge.
So it sounds like you like that advice then to get rid of your judge.
I like that advice. Yeah, I thought that was good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it was. And I like the picture you drew. He looked kind of chubby. He looked
Here it is.
a
Here it
little
is.
bit like a cloud. Chubby cloud.
Well, it's a dark cloud.
A dark cloud. Okay.
That's both worried and serious and judgmental.
Okay.
Right. I'll put a picture of it on our program notes.
You know, I had the judge talking to me in my head this morning.
Yeah.
Or it might have been yesterday, and I just said, "You're fat," to her. It's
Good.
a woman, of course, in my head.
So-
I said,
so I
"You're
mean,
fat, and you're just lonely, and you're kind of and you're kind of I kind of pity you. Shut the F up.
Well, one of the suggestions that Julia makes is that the judge kind of like sits there and tells you can't do that. You know,
Right,
you always want
right.
to play a violin.
Or you're not good at that.
You're not good at that. You'll
and
never be good at that.
you're doing this really badly.
And so she said, give the judge a name.
Okay.
And then talk back to the judge.
So what name?
Well, mine's obvious. Lyle.
Oh. Okay, got it. Oh,
And
I like that.
There's a whole history to Lyle.
I know.
Yeah, Lyle.
Crocodile. But Lyle Crocodile.
The fucker dial.
Lyle asshole dial.
The asshole dial, yeah. And he'll never listen to this show, so...
Let's see. Who's my...
I wish he would.
What's the name of my judge?
Yeah.
I
Make
don't
it
know.
good.
I need to be more thoughtful. I can't just come up with something on the
good
spur
guac.
of the moment.
So she said, you think about it.
I will.
So she said to kind of like spend like 20 minutes every day to write down just whatever thoughts in your head.
Yeah, that was the artist's way too. There was a lot of writing.
Right, a lot of writing.
I'm not into that.
A lot of processing.
Yeah.
A lot of figuring out who you are.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of like go to museums, do art things, do artful things.
I like that.
Yeah.
That I like.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you're like 65, 67, 72.
Right.
And it's like you've like developed this mindset your whole life, and now at this advanced age, you're now going to be renewed and changed.
Well, she's trying to get people out of the mindset. This is
It's
her
my
way to
sense-
help people.
If you live your whole life as an accountant, you get into the accountant mind, or you're a lawyer, and that's who you are.
Well,
And and I think it's really hard to get out of that unless you have counseling.
see, isn't there? Well, okay. I mean, that's fair, but the book could be like counseling. If you read the book, it gives advice.
Don't think you could do it on your own.
You don't think so?
All of her advice, full of examples.
Some people
It's like
do,
her
though.
saying, why don't you try this?
Right.
Right. Julia, I mean, I'm going to call Julia and say, Julia, I've been reading a book and I wrote, and it's like, I'm really stuck. What should I do? She's going to write back to me?
She might. I bet you she would. I bet you if you sent her an email and you were very specific, I bet you she would.
Well, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try
Sounds like a
that.
nice lady.
Right.
She's artistic. She writes.
But I mean, the more I read it, and I took a lot of notes. I mean, I took copious notes because I read
That's
and
what you
and
do.
write.
I know. You annotate.
And then make books impossible for anyone else to read them, is that you shouldn't wait until you're 65, 67, 72
That's for sure.
to kind of choose an inwardly looking, creative life. You should be retired if that's the mindset. You should be retired when you're 20.
Right. Like what you were just saying of Renee. Renee likes what he's doing. He's happy.
Yeah, you need to pick something that at some level you enjoy it. Now, you're teachers.
I am a teacher.
I don't like everything I do.
Right. You're a teacher too, yes.
Right?
Right.
I don't like everything.
No.
But there are moments in my teaching when I'm in the classroom and I'm having a conversation with the students, or I'm showing them a movie that I really like, and they get turned on to it in some way. And it's like, I'm really having the best time of my life. I'm having a happy moment.
Yes. Yes.
And I was reading this other book, because at the same time that I was reading Julia, what's her name?
Cameron.
Julia Cameron's book, and she also wrote the craft of the art.
The Artist's Way.
The
It's
Artist's Way, right?
yeah.
Which is the
That
big.
we talked about that
which
earlier.
is the big one. But it's never too late to begin again discovering creativity and meaning in midlife
But
beyond.
what if you are that person? You know, isn't there studies that have been done in science in which they have decided that our brain doesn't fossilize, that our brain is actually more flexible?
If you've been working in the postal office, or you've been working for an
It's
accountant,
fossilized.
or you've been working
I mean,
doing
that's
a
pretty
job
judgmental.
that you hate, and I'm no expert
If you
on
hate
this.
your job.
I think your brain gets fossilized.
If you hate your job.
I think if you work in it because it's like I'm making money and I can't quit because it's like I've got responsibilities,
Well,
and you're kind of stuck in this job.
a lot of people are
and you work
are
at it
there.
for 40 years, your brain gets fossilized. I think your brain gets fossilized.
If you get, it could be. I mean, it could be. But then, what? I still don't believe that. I don't agree with you that people can't somehow
I think
change.
it's possible, but I think it's really, really, really hard.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't attempt it. And you know what? The thing is that it's just a bullseye. It doesn't mean that if you miss the mark, it doesn't mean that you haven't.
I kind of consider
Hey,
this
Tully's calling.
like a. Oh, so we.
Should we put her on bar call?
Where the heck were we? We're talking about
we
retirement.
were talking about retiring.
So, I mean, at some point, Kren is going to retire, but I think he's going to be cool about it because he's doing stuff he likes to do.
And he's creative. See, I think it's also what she's talking about is she's trying to share with people what it means to have a creative mind. So you are, even though you're in a job that may not be your passion, you can still live creatively. And even though you've retired from a job that wasn't your passion.
Exactly. And I got that. But all the examples you had were people who don't like their jobs. And I was reading this book in which Thich Nhat Hahn, or Thay, his nickname is Thay, he's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, was having a discussion with Daniel Berrigan back in the 70s about life and stuff.
Right.
And then I was wanted to look up Julia Cameron because I couldn't remember the name of the book that she wrote, which in fact you said was The Artist's Way. And I was thinking the artistic life.
Yes.
I thought that's what it was. And so I looked up The Artistic Life, and I came upon another book by Thich Nhat Hahn called The Artist's Life. The Art of Life.
The Art of Life.
So it's kind of like weird.
Yes.
I'm reading these two books at the same time.
Right.
And Thich Nhat Hahn comes up twice.
Right.
And I started reading his that book also. And he says that no matter what work you do, that any work, you can find that place of happiness.
Of happiness.
You can find that place in which the work kind of fills you.
Not happiness, because I don't, like you said, I don't think Buddhists talk about happiness.
No, he does. He talks about happy moments.
Happy moments.
Right.
Yes.
And so, I mean, so there is work. No matter what work you do, you can find kind of the Buddhist way to approaching that work in a mindful way, so that the work is not just doing it for money.
Right.
Or you're not just doing it because you have to do it.
You're making connections, you're
do
learning,
it in
you're growing.
Kind of an artful way. But that doesn't start when you're 65. It
Well,
starts
no.
when you're 18.
But you miss
12.
her point. You miss her point. Her point is that, sure, try to live artistically. Try to live the artist way throughout your entire life. But this is a note to people that have retired because they had written to her over the years, and so she condensed it all, or she put it all together with that person in mind, with someone who hasn't lived artistically, who's now retired and is ready to try new things.
I'm shaking it off because I'm saying if your mind has been concretized to being an accountant or being in a particular branch of law that you're not enjoying, but you're there because you have to be there because you've been making a lot of money, you just have to keep making money, or you're in a big corporation like, I don't know, I'm going to come up with like Deloitte.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And
IBM.
you're part of that corporate mind, and you're there for 20, 30, 40 years, your mind becomes corporate. And you're done for.
I just don't
it's
agree.
Over for you.
I don't believe in absolutes. I don't think you can say this is absolutely what those people who work there are going to be like.
It's not absolute, but it's very difficult to move away from that.
Could be. I don't know. Could be.
You need help, and you can't do it by reading this book.
The self-help book. That's you. I think
you need to get help.
You can't get it by reading a self-help book. I think a lot of people read self-help books, and they get a lot out of it.
Yeah. What they get out of it is exactly who they are to begin with, unless they work with someone.
Well,
unless they get another mind that says,
I think you're looking at it in a very narrow
you've
focus.
You've got a brain that's thickened by corporate
I'm
culture.
sure that would help. I'm sure it helps to have a counselor. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So Thich Nhat Hahn talks about happy moments, the happy moment.
Uh-huh.
So what is your happy moment?
At my work? At work?
Any time. It could be at work.
Well, I was just talking about it in the cab over here. And getting ready for your birthday party. I catered it. Well, I didn't personally cater it, but I planned it all, bought all the food. I mean, in that I didn't make the food all myself. My family did. The whole family. Everybody pitched in. And we spent Sunday before your birthday party, including you. You came in, later. You'd gone lawn bowling.
It was a wild scene in that apartment.
When you came in, yeah.
7G.
And Tully kind of yelled at you guys and said, either you help us or you get up, or you move on.
Yeah, and Larry moved on.
He did. Well, he had stuff. He wanted to do something else. So he had to get ready for get his voice ready for your party because he sang a song, a beautiful song.
He did. He sang beautifully. I'm very proud of him.
Then when we got to the venue, he helped set up. I gave him an assignment and he helped. So the whole thing was Alan and Thule and Harry, our immediate family, and Alan's sister and brother, and one of Barbara's daughters. Emily couldn't make it, and that's fine and dandy. Okay, and Zach was there, and everybody was working hard that Sunday for your party.
Yeah.
And that was my happy moment. Not necessarily when I was in it, because I was kind of a little panicked, until Thule calmed me down. But then it was more, and I don't know if that's the case for a lot of people, but more of it was in reflection, looking back and saying, that was so cool. And in one moment, I too looked around at the room and everybody working. And that little tiny moment, that glimpse, I was happy.
That room was as busy a place on earth in our reality as I think anything could be.
We made over 100 sandwiches.
I know, and you gave away about 50 of them.
Little one.
Yeah, which was also good. And I've got to say and put on the record that I love you for what you did. And I know you were panicking, and I know all that, but you put so much effort into my big number birthday party.
Well, I wanted you to have a nice evening and do what you wanted to do.
I did, and we broadcast and all, and it was.
Yeah.
I think it was that getting together to work together that was my happiest moment.
Yes.
Even though I was working hard, keeping up with the dishes.
Right, I know.
Trying to get the dishes.
And then you ended up cleaning up afterwards because I was kind of dead, and I had to go to work the next morning. So.
Right. So one of the things that Thich Nhat Hahn says is that a happy moment is not just for you, because it's not about your happiness.
Right. Yeah.
But you're only happy when you make others happy. And I think we both do that, and I think we do that in our work. And I think one way of making people happy is by helping them realize what their potential is.
Yeah.
And that's what teachers do.
Right, yes. Yes.
And I think that's what it is. It's not the place of retirement that you start looking for this. It's a waste to wait until that moment. You've got to look for this throughout your whole life. And so I felt I've been always in partial retirement.
And also, but you're an artist.
I think
as
an artist.
As a young man, you were an artist.
It's better to be an artist in everything you do.
So basically what I think maybe what Ms. Cameron is saying is that live the life the artist lives. Learn the lessons that the artist has learned. And that's what her books are about.
I think it's fine. But when you say you're going to be able to do it when you're retired, I think it's really
short-sighted.
hard.
You
really need to start right from the beginning.
That would be great.
Right.
But we're not all that prescient.
Right.
Are you done?
So you know what?
You made your point?
I think I'm done. So this is Bar Crow Radio. We've been talking about retirement. But ladies, gentlemen, Bar Crow Radio listeners, don't retire.
Never.
Don't retire.
You don't have to.
No.
Or you could just move on to different jobs,
even if you
different things.
Stop the work that you were doing and you're doing other work, don't retire. Retire is such a final thing. Do what our friend David Nabinski talks about, is have a career portfolio. His podcast, Career Portfolio, check it out, is about how your life is filled with these happy working moments.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to keep looking for them. It doesn't make any difference when it happens in your life.
Right.
So, all right, sweetie, we're going to have dinner here?
Sure, why not?
All right, well, we started with a little guacamole, and we'll have to ask Renee.
We'll share something.
We'll share something here. And you're further along on your margarita than I am.
I always am.
But I'm going to catch up right now.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too.
And signing off from Gabriela's.
By the way, you look cute with my red glasses.
Oh, I'm wearing the red glasses. We got to take a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Oh, okay, here, wait. Don't. Okay. All right, look this way. You're a little silhouetted.